I'm here at the ONE9 Travel Center just east of Greensboro, North Carolina, off Interstate 40, where a brand new General Motors Energy in partnership with Pilot Flying J and EVgo station has just been installed. This was a sleeper site. I didn't know it was under construction. I did know that they were targeting Interstate 40 in North Carolina, but I didn't know this location was on their build list. And it opened. And so here we are. I'm going to do a News Coolum site review of this brand new electric vehicle charging station. Let's get into it. Okay, a couple things I want to go over before we get into the scoring of this station that are apparent to me. And as people know, I've been following the Pilot Flying J build now for going almost 2 years, not quite, but getting close. And it's very evident looking at this station, the machinery that is building these stations is getting pretty well oiled. I mean, they really knew what they were about, and this thing came into existence quickly. There is a cleanliness and a deliberateness with the design of this station that is very evident, that wasn't present in earlier charging stations. I mean, the pedestal, the concrete work, what's known as the plaza work here is very crisp and clean. They didn't tear the whole area up. They just cut in little sections in order to put the pedestals on, and were able to do the conduit work right back over here to the chargers and switchgear. The transformer is 1000 kVA. Sometimes they do 750, sometimes they do 1000. I think that just has to do with the order from the utility, and if they have any plans for expansion. Here I don't think they would, because it'd be kind of difficult to find space to put additional chargers. I mean, maybe if you telescope 10 years in the future, you know, more electric vehicle chargers would be called for, but in the immediate time frame, not, in my opinion. So if you have two 350s at 700, so a 1000 kVA transformer is more than enough, and obviously it's 480 service, three-phase service. But it's apparent that this station was put in the ground by a team that knows their business now. This is a well-oiled machine that is building these stations. All the bollards are in place. In fact, the bollards even have like little padlocky things on them now, which I'm not really sure what those are for. I guess they hold. No, this one comes up. I don't know. Yeah, the ones over there, they kind of have a padlock on order to hold the blue covering over the bollard. I'm not quite sure if they've been experiencing people stealing those blue things for some reason to bring them home in order to have pool toys or something, pool noodles or something. I'm not quite sure, but very crisp and clean station build. Must have been very rapid, because we had no indication of this going in, and we just had notification of it opening. It's at a very convenient location immediately off Interstate 40, with a full travel center attached with Dunkin' Donuts and a Wendy's inside there. So you have counter service and grab and go food, clean restrooms. I actually used the restroom because I was drinking a bunch of coffee headed into here, and staffed 24/7, 365. So let's go ahead and get into the scoring.
Here's the vital statistics. It's the ONE9 Travel Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, off Interstate 40. The plug share location will be linked down below in the description. It has 4 stalls, all of which have CCS handles, and it does support Auto Charge Plus for some cars. The News Coolum site review model is a 50-point scoring method in 5 categories: access, amenities, concentration, location, and speed. Each category has 10 points. There's also newly added a 10-point bonus category in order to offset some of the areas that a site might be lacking in. They can catch up with in the bonus category. The location is immediately off Interstate 40 in an area where Interstate 40 and Interstate 85 are in a confluence, so it's a much wider section of interstate. Plus there's a loop that goes around Greensboro, North Carolina, that is just about a mile up the road as well. Really terrific location, just immediately off the interstate. There is ADA compliance spaces, but there are no pull-through. The Delta 350 kilowatt models do have effective cable management. I've never had a problem with them. Sometimes after a couple of years, the cable retracting mechanism starts to fail, but EVgo is normally pretty good at maintaining those. There is parking signage against icing, which is important in a travel center like this. It is also very near the entrance to the site. The amenities are a short walk away, and it's also near the main thoroughfare highway interstate, which is basically you could see it from where you charge. It does have point of sale options as well as app and plug and charge options, and I would call it sufficient for the size and popularity of this location, because while I was there, no one else was charging, and it was a Saturday morning. For amenities, there is no canopy, but there is overhead lighting, and one of the things that really makes this station shine is the fact that it's attached to a full travel center, which does have clean, well-maintained bathrooms. I went to go use the bathrooms, and they were actually being serviced while I was there, so they do so like clockwork at Pilot Flying J locations. There's also trash cans and squeegees. Normally what happens when a station first opens, the trash cans and squeegees are not located by the charging station. I don't know why that is, but it normally takes about a month or two before the staff start to have position near the charging stations, squeegees and trash cans. There's also on-site security, dining options, snack drink options, park and picnic. I did not see, so I did not give them the point for that. And also there is nothing close by that would be at all considered sightseeing, unless you would consider Greensboro, North Carolina itself, but I would not. Greensboro is a working city, and they do have an airport and an aquatic center and a few other things that are points of interest, but I wouldn't really call it a sightseeing destination. For concentration, this is where the station really loses points, because it only has 4 stalls. You can see those are 4 X's after that. But I would, as I say, consider it sufficient for the route, region, and site. The reason being is, as I said, I was there on a Saturday morning, and you would think there would be travelers passing through, and no one else came in. Now, that might just be because it's a new station. It's going to take a while for people to become familiar. There's another Pilot Flying J station a little bit up Interstate 40 in Graham, North Carolina. And similarly with that one, it took a while for people to kind of latch on to it. And 6 months later, it seemed to be busy all times of the day. So probably the same thing's going to happen here. But right now, it's got all the check marks. Now, as I said, it is incredibly close to the interstate. You could see, hear, smell the interstate from where you are charging, and extremely close. You can't get any closer than where this station currently is. It is not on a historic or scenic route, and it is not 50 miles away from the nearest public fast charger. In fact, there's another Pilot Flying J just right down the road. Nor is it in an incorporated area with any other public fast chargers. Now, it's not specifically in Greensboro, North Carolina, but there are chargers just on the other side of the interstate, so it didn't get that mark. But it is in an incorporated area with fewer than 1 public fast charger stall per 1,000 residents, so it got that mark. Now let's talk speed. It does have 350 kilowatt chargers, so it got all those points, not the 500. It's going to be a while before we start to see anyone start to get the 500. In fact, I think it's going to be Tesla Supercharger V4 is the first one to get those. Maybe something else will pop up in between now and then, but that seems to be the case. And it has a transformer at 1000 kVA, so it got the 1 megawatt or greater, but it did not get 2 or 4. Now let's go into the fun bonus category, where this station really started to catch up. It did have charging stalls that display the status, because those Delta chargers will either display with a large blue, green, or red, indicating the current status of the charger, whether it's in use, available, or unavailable. It also is on property owned by Pilot Flying J, which is the operator of the station, so it gets that check mark. And it's not oversubscribed, because 2 350s would only be 700, and it's got a 1000 kVA transformer, and it does have Wi-Fi, as is the case in all Pilot Flying J locations, bringing the total points to 40 out of 50.
So there you have it, a brand spanking new electric vehicle charging station with big boy 350 kilowatt chargers immediately off the interstate in Greensboro, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.